Well, wherever you are, here we are fine together with my friend Ondari. I'm Stephen Mogambi. I would like us to look at the spread of Christianity in Africa. As we all know that the Christianity started back in the European countries, then it was spreaded to Africa. We can first trace the coming of Christianity from back from the European countries, whereby we can see that the Christianity came into Africa through different ways, as a trend through missionaries and other factors like exploration, which made the Christianity to reach in Africa. To start with, the first time Christianity was introduced in the northern Africa, Egypt, and the northern Africa, whereby we can see the first Coptic church started in Egypt, whereby it marked its origin from St. Mark Evangelist. You can see that through the coming of Christianity, the Africans' life, the life of Africans were shaped in different ways, either socially, economic life, and political life was much shaped through this coming of the European countries. The historical background of the church is traced from the first ND or first century ND, particularly in Egypt and North Africa. As we have seen, by the 3rd century, we can see that church fathers like Tertullian, Origen, Augustine contributed much in the spread of Christian theology among the Africans, whereby you can see that by the end of the 7th century, Christianity faced a lot of challenges from Muslims who had encountered the region, but finally we can see that it is existent until today. The second thing, the Christianity the Christianity focused much in the North Africa, then it was spread back to the sub-Saharan Africa, whereby the spread of Christianity in sub-Saharan Africa began in the 15th century with the Portuguese Catholic missionaries in West and Central Africa. However, widespread Christian influence came in the 19th and 20th century through European Protestant and Catholic missionaries. Through that, I'd like to introduce or to welcome my friend Ondari so that he can take us the factors influencing the spread of Christianity in Africa.
Welcome. These are the following factors which influence the spread of Christianity in Africa. 1. The missionary movement. By the fact that these missionaries like David Livingstone, Samuel Ajayi, and the Mel, they played a very vital role of spreading the Christianity through the establishment of the schools. And then later, they translated the Bible into the local languages, which influenced the people in Africa. Although they had the Western design of their education, but later they translated it into the African way. Also, during this one, they tried to bring what we call medicine, among other things, as they were dealing with education. Also, there's another factor is what we call colonialism and Christianity. This one, in the era of the 19th and 20th centuries, they tried to facilitate the spread of Christianity from the European powers by supporting the missionaries who came to Africa. Through this one, they tried to create a complex relationship between the Christians and sometimes to justify the colonial rule while they were fostering and resistance and empowering among the Africans who were there during the colonial time. Then we have another factor, so-called of African indigenous churches. There were some churches which they developed during this period, which influenced the Africans by adopting the cultural context leading to emergence of African independent churches such as the Kimbanguist Church in the Congo and the Zionist churches in South Africa. This movement blended the Christian beliefs with which the African traditions were emphasizing more on healing, prophecy, and the community-based worship during that time. Also, there's another factor of education and literacy. This factor also, they used it to influence the spread of Christianity by promoting literacy through the Bible translation and the theological education, which they brought the institutions like Fora Bay College in Sierra Leone and the Provedere Missionary Institute in South Africa. They played a very good culture of training people to be good leaders. The Africans who were there, who tried to follow the missionaries, they were trained to be good Christian leaders. Hence, we had good Christian leadership in Africa. Also, we have another factor, which was the revival movement. And this revival movement came in the early 1930s and 1940s, which made the African Christianity, or the first Christians in Africa, to emphasize on the personal holiness, repentance, and indigenous leadership. It also contributed to the growth of evangelical and the Pentecostal movement across the continent. By doing this, it made people accept the Christianity because now they have their own people from their country or from within the continent. By doing so, then they accepted it. After accepting it, now they moved forward with the acceptance and the continuing of the spreading of the Christianity up to date. We have now the theological implications over the issue. One, then the Christianity in Africa has a problem beyond the missionary roots, with African theologians engaging in contextual theology. The concepts such as incarnation, liberation theology, and African Christology addresses the integration of the faith with African realities. This rise has made the Pentecostalism and the charismatic movement in the 20th and 21st centuries that has further shaped the African Christian identity. That's why even to the current times we have pastors who are training for the continuity of the spread of the Christianity. Also, now we have what we call the social and the cultural impact, which were brought during that time, which has influenced the African societies by promoting social churches, education, and the health services, of which the churches have played a very vital role in political activism, such as in the fight against the apartheid in South Africa and the promotion of democracy in various countries. However, it has also faced criticism for its association with colonialism and its role in the cultural disruptions. This has come because the people, they have tended now going back to the colonialism instead of continuing to the spread of Christianity. That's why currently we see some other issues are evolving, although we are at the end, although the African people now they have continued and have accepted the Christianity as the mode of for them to be saved. Now, in conclusion, the spread of Christianity in Africa has been in a dynamic and a transformative process. Where the European missionaries introduced the faith, African agency has been the central to its growth and adoption. That's why Christianity continues to shape Africa's spiritual and social landscape, making it one of the most vibrant Christian religions in the world today. Then, by doing so, that's why we have different denominations in Africa. And apart from having these different denominations in Africa, we see now People, they have accepted the Christianity. They are trying to change from their cultural way to accept the Christianity, which will make them continue having faith and growing spiritually up to date. So far, we accept and we advocate the way the Christianity came to Africa, and it has made Africa actually to change and to sit right. Thank you, and be present. Thank you for watching, and be present.